All right. So, welcome to Thoughts from My Kitchen Table over coffee. We're just getting started here, and I wanted to take a quick minute to introduce you to this platform. Um, it's been a while since I've done any podcasts or anything like that at all. Um, I used to run a podcast called The Big Picture. It was a pretty popular podcast back in the day, and it dealt with a lot of things more related to photography. Once in a while, there was some thoughts on world events, but I really didn't want to focus on that, doing things that I was doing or involved in. What I really want to talk about, just from the introductory side, is social media and politics, in particularly politics. So, no matter where you go, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, it doesn't matter. What happens is you are flooded with political posts. And the inspiration behind me starting this was basically because on my LinkedIn feed, I saw a political post, and it was regarding how this individual was not proud to be an American based off of the events that took place in the White House with Vladimir Zelensky, President Trump, and Vice President Vance. And I saw that post, and it kind of pissed me off a little bit because it clearly comes from somebody who is a leftist, an extreme leftist, and I basically called bullshit on his position. Well, that kind of turned into some rhetoric. One noteworthy piece of rhetoric with this was basically how, he does not come into my house and crap, and I shouldn't be coming into his to crap. Well, let me make this very clear. If I see your feed, if you are showing up in my feed, you are in my house. And when I find it offensive, and I say that it's offensive, it is something that will inspire me to comment, you and your cronies will want to attack me, and without knowing me at all, will basically state I'm a racist, I'm a fascist, I'm an extremist, on and on and on. Typical things that left-wing nut jobs, will say to people of different mindsets. And I apologize. I don't mean any disrespect by calling somebody a left-wing nut job. It's just that if you look at things factually, when President Trump was the president before, we had 4 pretty good years. Then Biden runs the country for 4 years, and it turns into a mess. I mean, a real mess. And many people will disagree with that, and that's fine. But now, with the audits in place and full well knowing that the majority of Americans voted for Donald Trump, this is making the left wing just go absolutely crazy. And I kind of feel like if you're going to state to me that I'm a nut job, I'm a fascist, I'm a racist, and you know nothing about me, then I really kind of think that that's a pretty crappy position, considering I disagreed with your take. And then I see the other comments from your cronies. And the thing is I kind of deep dive into some of this stuff, and I look at the people. I check out who they are, what they do. And the majority of these people are receiving some type of subsidy from the government, which basically means you are doing what you want to do with your life, your platform, but it's being funded by my tax dollars. So I feel that that's completely wrong. You have life choices. You make your life choices. You do things the way that you want to do them, but don't expect me to fund it, and don't expect me to support your platform or your opinion. So, if you want to refer to something as your house, great. But look at the reality of it and understand that it's not your house. And you just showed up in my house. I don't want to see it. Professional platforms like LinkedIn, they're not really meant for political takes and opinions. But for the majority of people on social media, it's free. Okay? Let's understand that. And they post whatever they want to post. Great, good for you. But honestly, if you really want to get down to the brass tacks of things, and I think Mike Tyson said this, who doesn't love Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson made a statement once that the problem with the internet and social media and things like that had made people, and I will just refer to it as the keyboard warriors, so comfortable with making comments and referring to people as racists without any repercussions at all. And in Mike Tyson's word, it's made them so comfortable about saying things that they wouldn't say to a person's face for fear of getting punched in the mouth. Okay? There's a lot of truth in that. And I don't advocate violence. I have a lot of friends that are of left-wing persuasion, but they're respectful. They have opinions, and I listen to their opinions. I don't necessarily feel that they're right, but at least I can have a conversation. The extremist, you can't have a conversation with. You can't say anything derogatory or negative about what they say or do. They will call you a racist. They will call you white privileged. They will say all sorts of things, full well not having any clue of who you are, where you came from, what you did to be who you are. And it's time for me to just say, okay, if this is how one side is going to play, I'm going to ride the middle of things, and I'm going to put my opinion out there. But I do want to expose the fact that every time you disagree with an extremist, you're labeled. That's not right. So I hope that you will listen. I hope you will comment. I hope you will be objective. And I hope you will be willing to share your opinions and your takes, and possibly even come on this platform and share an episode with me. Share a coffee. I started doing some videos just on TikTok. And I always started them out with thoughts from my kitchen table over coffee. And some of those videos went viral. And I often thought about creating a podcast, a platform to actually do this show, but maybe in a longer format. And hopefully people will want to hear what I have to say. I mean, for God's sakes, millions of people will listen to Howard Stern because he's funny. All right. His politics, come on. You know, it is what it is. Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent has a huge following, and he says some pretty funny things, just like Howard Stern. But the difference is Howard Stern has done this his whole life. Ted Nugent hasn't. Anyway, I promise this will get better. This show will get better. There will be a lot of things incorporated into the show that I think you as the listener will enjoy. But it's basically going to be some opinions, some facts, and some realizations about how crazy things are in this world, and maybe a little deep dive into why things are so crazy. To close out, yes, these are my thoughts from my kitchen table over coffee. Have a great day.